So I got this comment on YouTube the other day where somebody asked, bro, do you even overland? Because all I see is review videos on your channel. Now, normally I don't engage in comments like that because we know who we are. We know what goes on in our daily lives. We don't owe anybody an explanation. But the more I thought about it, I realized, you know what? I should give you guys an explanation. I mean, you watch this channel and I think you want to be able to see me use the gear that I'm actually reviewing. So to answer the question on whether or not I go overlanding, well, the short answer is yes. This year, 2024, me and the crew are submitting a film to the Overland Expo Film Festival, and we're actually going to debut it at the Southeast Adventure Vehicle Expo in Stark, Florida, which is happening in about a month from now. And last summer, me and the crew, me, Overlandaroos, Sunshine State Vikings, Sunshine State Adventure Company, and Adventure with Danon, the 5 of us, we went on a trip at the Florida Adventure Trail, which is our beloved trail here in Florida. Over 1,000 miles of just trails through the central and northern Florida area. And collectively, we shot footage for this film, and me being the producer and editor of it, I have been toiling at it since we went on that trip. And that is why when we've been going out since then, I just don't want to capture any more footage of that. I don't want to create any more videos that I have to put on my plate. But at the same time, I don't want to just keep you guys hanging and not have a video to watch from this channel, which is why I've been filling it lately with either installs or reviews that I can do here at home while I am simultaneously working on this film. Stay tuned for this film because we really put our heart and soul into it, and I hope that a lot of you guys enjoy it. Speaking of filler videos, I'm still working on the vinyl wrapping on the Jeep, and I need to release a video this week. So today we're gonna talk camp chairs. Now, there are a bunch of different camp chairs that are out in the market, ranging from different styles, different features, different price points, and it can be somewhat overwhelming trying to figure out which is the right camp chair for you. I'm sure you can remember the very first time you bought a camp chair. Maybe you got invited to go camping and you had absolutely no gear, so you went to Walmart, bought a bunch of stuff, and picked up some of those camp chairs that they have there, and you realize pretty quickly that those things are horrible. They break pretty easily. They're also really huge and kind of awkward in shape. And you probably at some point said, if I'm gonna keep going camping, I'm gonna need to upgrade my chair situation. So today I'm going to show you 3 of the chairs that we currently still own. A lot of the chairs I've had before, got rid of them and basically narrowed it down to these 3 different kinds. I have a pair of each of these, and then I have just one of these because my son still uses this one. I don't want to inundate you with a bunch of different chairs and make it even more confusing. I would rather just show you the ones I ended up sticking with because these are the ones that I really like and have worked for me. And hopefully it'll help you decide if maybe these might also work for you. So the first kind is what we would call a backpacking chair. I mean, look at this. Look how small and compact these are. And if you're backpacking and you're trying to reduce the amount of weight that you're carrying on your back, then something like this that's small and light is what you're gonna wanna bring. But these have also become really popular with overlanders and campers because of how small it is. I mean, you can literally just throw this underneath one of your seats, or if you have a huge family, let's say there's 7 of you, well, bringing 7 of these is a lot easier than trying to bring 7 of those humongous Walmart or Dick's Sporting Goods chairs. Speaking of Walmart branded chairs, this is a Walmart branded chair. But the companies that have made this kind of style really popular are companies like Click. My friend Brad from Overlandaroos has a Click chair and absolutely loves it because it's strong, but it's also really small. But for me, the size is pretty much where my pros end. A lot of people like this style of chair, and I'm not knocking them for that. It's just not for me, because for me it's less chair and more stool. I feel like I'm about to have a tea party with a 6-year-old. I like to lounge in front of the fire. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel higher up. I want to feel engulfed by my chair. I want armrests. I want a place to put my drink, and this offers none of that. It's bare bones. You're sitting lower to the ground, no armrest, no place to put your drink. Again, if you're backpacking or if you just really want the compactness, then this is perfect. But just for me, I would rather sacrifice the smaller compactness of this and take up a little bit more room, bringing a chair that feels more comfortable for me. The other thing too is the setup of this thing. My other chairs are pretty quick to deploy. This takes a little bit more work. This particular one from Walmart takes a little bit more. It's not like it's hard to put together, it's just a little bit more work. So every time you're jumping from one campsite to the next, it's like, oh yeah, take out the chair, and unfold and unclick. Like I said, I keep this around because my son uses this. It's a small enough chair and it's perfect for him when he's eating and he just needs a place to sit by the fire as well. Now me personally, the style of chair I like are director chairs. I found that these are the most comfortable for me and I have loved using them. Again, I would rather sacrifice the compactness of this one, I mean look how small this is compared to the rest of these, and bring something a little bit bigger if it provides me more comfort. That's what she said. When I say I want a bigger chair, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna also sacrifice packability. Those Walmart ones, those long ones, are so awkward to pack anywhere, whereas these, you're gonna get the same kind of size chair, but it's easier to pack, simply because they're thinner and you can basically just slide these anywhere in your cargo. Now, this is the video that I wish someone made when I was trying to decide which chair to buy, and that is comparing the Front Runner Director Chair with something like the old Man Emu. And I think there's just like one video out there for this, but it's an important thing to compare because if you look at it, the size difference is pretty massive. So let's start with the Front Runner Director Chair. It's compact, it's small. I mean, it's not really that much bigger than this. I mean, yeah, of course this is smaller, but because of how much this compacts and how thin it is, I mean, you can pretty much slide this anywhere. This has become my go-to. Like when I go camp and overland with my family and I need to bring a few chairs, I bring a pair of these for me and my wife and I bring this, and that's it. Doesn't take up a lot of room at all. Now, out of all of my chairs, this one is actually the easiest and fastest to deploy. There's just a couple of Velcro straps and then you unfold the backrest, extend the legs, and then flop the thing open. Now, this thing is actually really comfortable to sit in. It does feel engulfing. You do get the armrest that I've been looking for, and then you also get these pouches on each side just for you to store stuff. So like on one side you have a long pocket here, and then on the other side you do get something to hold your drink. I wish that this was a little bit taller though. This is great for cans, like if you're drinking beer or you're drinking a can of Coke, but if you have like a bottle or something that's a little bit bigger, then you're gonna have a harder time kind of putting it in there. Like I have a Yeti Rambler and it kind of like there's not enough, it's not long enough sometimes where it feels like it's gonna tip over. So just be mindful of that. And then you also get like a smaller pocket here where I'll usually like put my keys or something like that. The only gripe I have about this chair is folding it back down can get a little bit clunky. There's these four legs and these four legs go into these tubes here and they all have to kind of go in at the same time. If one side is off, then it gets all floppy and weird. Well, sometimes a couple of these will get stuck. And when it gets stuck, then I'm having a hard time just trying to jam it back down. Who knows, maybe I just need to clean it better. I'm sure there's a lot of dust and soot and campfire junk that's just collected over here. And I'm sure that after I clean it, it'll go down smoother. But I do remember when I first got this and it was brand new and clean, I was still having a hard time just trying to get these things to slide back inside. Opening it up, not a problem. It's the closing back down that can get a little bit tricky. Speaking of which, if you're not familiar with this kind of a chair style, it does take some getting used to on how to fold it back down and open it up. In fact, my wife, for like a while, was still confused on how to kind of open this. Now she's like a pro at it, but it does take a little bit of getting used to on how to get this thing opened and fold it back down. So basically, this folds like this, and then you push all four down. Let's see how it's getting kind of stuck right now. But you push it all down, then this folds over like this, and it just put the strap there, put the strap here so it doesn't open back up, and there you go. And then finally, the most comfortable camp chair I've ever owned, but it's also the biggest and ironically the hardest to kind of assemble compared to the other two, the old Man Emu Director Chair. Now, when I'm camping overlanding with the family, I don't bring this. It's just too big with all of our stuff. But if it's just me and I'm going out with the guys or whatever, then this is the one that I bring. I absolutely love this chair just for the comfort and the features that it has. It's the same style as the other chair. It opens up the same way and closes up the same way. It's just a little bit bigger. Now, the reason why I said that this one is the hardest to assemble out of all of my chairs is because there's a lock on one of the legs that you have to bring it high enough for that lock to engage. And that can be a little bit tough. Like you really have to tug at it and bring it up. And then once it clicks, then you're pretty good. But that has to lock, otherwise this thing will just kind of collapse on you. Now, as you can see, this one is a behemoth of a chair. It's huge. However, that lends itself to a lot of comfort. Armrests, bigger area, I can really lounge on this thing. You also have a ton more features. You have things like, on this side, you have a cooler. Like, so if you want to bring drinks or whatever with you, this whole thing right here, this can actually come out, by the way. If you don't want to bring this kind of bulk, you can take this out. It's just Velcroed in there, but it doesn't even take up space because once you fold it up, it kind of just tucks neatly to the side and you'll never even notice. But you get like 3 mesh pockets right here, which is great for like little things that you want to put in there. And then you also have this cooler right here. So all your cold drinks or whatever, you can put it in there. And then you have this smaller pocket here. This is great for, you know, little things like wallets, keys, phone, things like that. And then on this side, table and dedicated cup holder. This cup holder is also fitted for a coffee mug. So they really thought about everything. And in the back, you get this other pocket as well. And this is great for like magazines, books, or whatever else you might want to put back here. As far as styling, like this is the best looking chair out of all of the chairs I have. I mean, let's look at this. It's gold with the black. You have your Old Man Emu logo right there. You also have it on the headrest up here. And then, you know, you also have like the yellow kind of accents everywhere. It looks really, really good. The couple of gripes I have about this is obviously it's going to be a little bit bigger to carry. And then the other one is this latch here, not really the best. In fact, I just found out now that it's not even locking into place. Remember when I said when you open it, you have to kind of stretch the legs out enough, right? Like you have to like use your legs and your arm to kind of stretch this apart so that this engages that little push button there, which is right here. If this doesn't lock into place, this thing will just collapse on you. So right now, for some reason or the other, it's not locking. See? It comes right back out. I've used this chair a lot. This has gone through its paces and maybe this just at some point something broke in there. I think the other chair I have of this still works okay. Actually, let me go check that. Okay, so this one actually works. See, notice how this thing is locked in place. This thing it's pretty much popped out the button. That tells you that it's locked, see? Not going anywhere. And when you're ready to fold it back down, you just press the button and that releases that. The other one, I guess is broken. I guess we're gonna have to go with this one now. And there you go, the 3 camp chairs currently in my system. The backpacking chair that basically fits anywhere and can go anywhere. My go-to front runner director chair, which I love for the compactness and the comfort it provides. And then finally, if I can afford the space to bring it, the king's chair, the Old Man Emu Director Chair, which I absolutely love for the features. It has a table, it has a cooler, and it's super comfortable to sit in and brings me a little bit higher up. But anyway, that's it for the chairs. I just want to give you a couple of updates before we go. You see all that back there. Those are all the leftover strips from this vinyl wrap that I'm doing on the Jeep. I'm really excited to release that video, but I'm also trying to take my time in wrapping this thing so I don't make any catastrophic mistakes. Don't get me wrong, I've already made mistakes, a couple of tiny blemishes here and there and a couple of imperfections, but for someone who's never wrapped a vehicle before, I feel like I'm doing a pretty decent job. And I can't wait to show you how this Jeep looks like. I can't wait to release that video. but I do want to take my time and make sure that I do it right. Now, March 3rd to the 5th, the Southeast Adventure Vehicle Expo in Stark, Florida. I will be there along with Sunshine State Adventure Company, Adventure with Danon, and Overlandaroos. We're going to be at the Florida Adventure Trail booth, so come by and say hi. Friday night of that expo, we're also going to debut the video, the film that I have been tirelessly working on for the last 6 months. We're getting down to the wire. I really need to finish it, but I cannot wait for you guys to see that as well. So if you're going to be at SAVE, come by the booth, say hi, and then stick around Friday night and come watch this video. We're going to have a big projection screen going, and we're going to have some booze, and people are just going to hang out and watch this thing, and I hope you guys can join. But anyway, until then, please make sure you actually, don't smash, pull up a chair and lounge next to that like button. Subscribe to our channel. Also consider supporting us on Patreon because it gives you access to all of our videos before everyone else and gives you access to our live streams before we do them. Also, click that notification bell so we can let you be aware of new videos when it comes out. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at, make sure you can see it because there's some white there. Baptism Overland. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time.